Welcome to the Captain Swan podcast number 69. I'm Serena, so you're out on Tumblr, and these are the people with me today.
Hi, I'm Daniela. I am Princess Swan Love on Tumblr.
I'm Lisa, and I'm You Brought Me Home on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Mai. I'm Snowflake Swan.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm To the End of the World or Time on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I'm Ginny Jinx Rita on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Steph, and I'm Bookstore Romantic on Tumblr.
Okay, a lot of us here today. So we are here to talk about the episode Nimue, and after a few episodes of no Captain Swan interaction, we got some really great Captain Swan scenes in this episode. So,
Totally.
And Emma scenes. We got some of
Thank
the
you,
best
Jane.
Emma scenes ever.
yes, and James Espenson wrote this episode.
We
So,
got the literal holy grail of Captain Swan scenes in this episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of parallels between Nimue and Merlin and Captain Swan.
Actually, they were anti-parallels, more like, because
Yes, because we're going to succeed where they failed.
okay, so do you guys want to expand on that? Talk about Nimue and Merlin and Hammer Hook, how they were different and similar?
okay. Who wants to start?
You
I'll
first,
start. I'll start.
or Michelle.
Well, they started. Well, the most obvious one is the heart crushing because Killian convinced Emma not to crush Merida's heart when they first arrived in Camelot, and Nimue just gave zero fucks by that point. She's
Is
just
that true?
crushing the
That's
heart,
very
and now she's the Dark One, breaking swords.
She looks like a frog with the skin change thing, I swear to God.
And the other thing with Merlin and Nimue, they never talk to each other. Like even after Merlin's little spiel about how immortality is not worth it, Nimue didn't really look convinced. She just sort of went along with it. And of course we know she wasn't convinced because she drank from the Grail anyway, without him knowing.
Yeah.
And then
And then
pretended to die to traumatize him.
Exactly.
What?
Fucked up, man.
So sad.
Whereas that kind of decision, Emma and Killian would never make that kind of decision without
Thank God,
each
thank
other.
God, thank
Thank
God.
goodness.
Okay.
Well, until we know what happens this week, I guess.
Yes.
Well, and then there's the whole, and there's something that really stands out, that revenge, that if you go into the whatever it is, wanting revenge, you'll turn out pretty much evil.
See, this
Wait.
Yeah.
Like, if this was, I mean, Nimue kind of reminded me in ways of Killian when he was in his revenge-filled mode. Because let's face it, pre-Emma, Killian Jones probably would have made the same decision Nimue did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Killian gave all that up for love, and Nimue, Merlin's love was not enough for her to give up her revenge. That's the
Nimue
difference.
was a little weird for me because of that. Like, the timing of their relationship just felt strange. She shows up there. They never, go back to her village to bury the bodies. Just leave them there until after they move in together, fall in love, and then have to walk through the village to get to the flame, and she becomes re-traumatized and needs revenge.
Exactly.
It was
So weird.
strange. What do you mean
Truth
you guys
out
never
of
went
me.
back
Got
to
truth
bury
out
the
of my
bodies?
mouth. Out of everybody.
Well, we can already establish that whoever was putting together, whoever was doing the housekeeping on this episode kind of dropped the ball. First of all, with
Yes, the
the
title card
timing
was
title
wrong.
card that was wrong, and then some
Um,
of the timing in the relationship between Merlin and Nimue was. It felt like there was a scene missing that was
Well,
established in the time frame.
I think it's kind of like Skin Deep. Remember in Skin Deep, that was actually over a period of months or years or something from the time Rumpel takes Belle hostage to the time he kicks her out, and
But
then
it
they had to
didn't
fill
feel it,
in the
though.
gaps later in other flashbacks. but it didn't feel like that exactly.
Wait a second,
And
I'm
this
gonna
is sort of the
go
same
for a
kind of
moment.
thing.
It was
That
obvious that there was a time jump, but like because of that time jump, it felt like she should have kind of moved on more than she
exactly.
did.
The other
We
thing
never
that
got to see Nimue kind of like being happy in love with Merlin, but also really not moving on from the boarding crowd.
The other thing that kind of struck me, though, was the fact that I think they kind of gapped with the Holy Grail.
Close?
Okay, what is that?
I don't know.
Is you? Can you?
Everything's about to cool down, so
My,
Mike?
Okay, well, that's
Are we all good now?
I don't. Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. I don't know why my is not transferring.
Are you okay, Mai? Mai? Hello? Are you okay? This is someone.
Okay.
I'm
Elisa.
texting her.
Okay,
Well, I was
Elisa.
going to say that I felt like they kind of gaffed with the rules concerning the Holy Grail, because when Merlin first found it with his friend wasn't reverent of it. He just grabbed it because he was so thirsty. He tried to drink from it and turned it into a pile of ash, kind of like Sir Kay did. But Merlin was reverent of it. He bowed before he asked permission before he drank from it, and it didn't kill him. So obviously, the Grail is such a holy object that you either have to be pure of heart or pure of intention, or at least be reverent towards it to drink from it. But it didn't seem like Nimue was. I think she didn't just. She said she wanted it because she wanted to be immortal to be with Merlin, but I think in her heart of hearts that wasn't what she was wanting. She was wanting the power so she could deal with Vortigern and get revenge for what he'd done to her.
Well, yeah, but I think that bit with the gods and being reverent and stuff, I think that was just to get it off the stone. Once it was off the stone without turning to ash, then you could do whatever you want with it. I mean,
yeah, but later on, it still was holding the same qualities because once it was in the sword was in the stone, it was the same way.
Yeah, it's because it was back in the stone. It's
Oh,
the stone.
Okay.
It really wasn't clear in the episode, though. I did love her reaction when she found out that not only did he have the Holy Grail, but it was sitting in the chest in their living room.
Yes.
That was like Nimue's best moment for me. Like, what?
That was hilarious.
Yeah, but you are definitely right. It totally makes sense that she would like leave the desolate ashes of her home with dead bodies everywhere, and then go off and have this love affair with Merlin and not care about at least burying her dead. It's like, can we at least have a time frame here so we know what's going on? I just feel like whoever was doing the housekeeping on this episode really dropped the ball because just couldn't measure time frame in it at all.
Ball, man.
The continuity editors failed.
Again, maybe.
I don't even try to question it anymore. If there's a title card, I just ignore it. I'm just gonna watch,
Me too.
not read.
Like, moving on.
I feel supremely. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I was asking another question. So if you have something else to add to my previous question,
I just feel supremely bad for Adam because he must have been inundated, like literally right after the episode aired, with what the hell is this shit? You know, fandom is so picky, like nitpicky with that stuff. He must have been so deluged with why is the time frame not making sense that he felt he had to make that tweet go, oops, we fucked up.
Well, I'm glad he called that one out. No, he still hasn't. He said that the one from There's No Place Like Home is messed up. That has Emma and Neil meeting in 2001, which is physically impossible.
Oh, that's true because that's when Harry was born, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, Henry was born in March 2001. So there's like no possible way they could have met in 2001.
That's the only part that confused me of that ending of season 3. Seriously.
Yeah, they could have just said a long time ago in an enchanted forest far, far away.
Okay, and let's talk about the Avengers failed mission, and it's all Zelina of it all.
I knew it! I knew those two had taken part in Emma turning dark in present day. I knew it!
Why do they continue to even attempt to trust this woman? I don't even understand.
That's not
because
even
she's
the
so
half-
pretty.
Pretty.
She fucked them over. Again.
Just because you had to dress up like her, Ro.
Aww.
You see,
I'm Team Zelina.
this group, when they get together, it seems, and it's directly like piggybacking off of episode 6. It seems like whenever they get together, they lose brain cells. And it hurts me because I know that Regina and Killian are smarter than this. First they go and trust Arthur alone with the damn mushroom, and now they trust Green, who they know could not give a shit about Emma or anybody else in their party. Except
She
And-
only wants revenge, power, her baby, and a twisted way.
I mean, logically, why would she help the group of people who want to take her baby and who at the same time have accepted Regina, who's done much, much worse than she has
Them.
to them while keeping her in a cell? Why would Zelina? She has no incentive. Like
That's
at least with Regina, Snow is always telling her, "Oh, you are so good. You can be good. You can be part of us." So of course, at the end, like she joined them, but they treat Zelina like shit, and I mean she's terrible. So I'm not saying they should trust her, but it's the hypocrisy of treating Rumpel and Regina so well when they've done worse things while wanting to take away Zelina's baby. Like that's terrible.
It's
Anyway,
a double standard.
The only one who I
exactly.
feel bad situation is the baby. The baby's in the middle of its mother's twisted, evil ways, and his father, and the rest of the gang battling for its safety, and he's in the middle. I feel bad for that child, not for her, for that child.
But
No, the
sorry,
worst why. Sorry, the worst why about the of all whys in this whole thing is, why would you trust the most gullible person amongst you to guard her?
That was the whole stupidest thing
Holy
they
shit.
have done. The holy shit stupidest thing they would have done is to Snow. From all people, Snow to guard Selena. What
I
is
would-
wrong with
See,
that?
that's okay. Here's the thing about Snow. We're supposed to believe that Snow is badass, yet I wasn't really looking that closely, but I don't think they left her with an actual weapon to.
They did not.
They did
Okay,
not.
can you hear me now?
To
Snow
watch
was a
Selena.
badass.
Okay.
Snow
But
was a badass once upon a time.
But
Mary
she fell
Margaret
for the
is-
oldest trick in the book.
this
Hi,
is
okay.
Right.
this is
Can you hear me now?
yeah, we
Yes.
can hear
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, we can.
This is no 2.0, but I mean, this should have left at least Robin there with Snow guarding Zelina. I mean, it's not like Robin could really help. I mean,
Well, no, Robin would have actually been a more interesting scene because we haven't seen Robin and Zelina actually talk about what Zelina did to him. And I
Because
would
they
have
don't
seen that
want-
conversation.
because
do you,
remember- they can't have Robin and Celine. They can't have Robin have scenes with any other woman who's not Regina. Remember?
I mean, they keep saying that Zelina tricked him, like because they just can't say raped. So
Here we go.
I don't think having them have a scene is in their intentions at all.
It's true.
Well,
God
to be
forbid Robin had a
fair-
character arc. He might actually be a regular then.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what just galls me more than anything is lately, since we know now that Zelina apparently is supposed to have the baby sooner than we expected. And I'm not trying to give up any spoilers, but this is more about how Regina's stands are so inflamed about the idea that she's going to have to raise her sister's child, and she shouldn't have to do that because she wants to have her own child. She can't. She got to deal with blah blah blah, outlaw queen, blah blah. Like, okay, first of all, stop, because Regina has no place in this equation. Yes, she's with Robin, and they're a couple, but
And they love each other.
the baby is Robin's child. So Robin has the say of whether or not he wants either one of the two to be included in that child's life.
Which honestly, if I was Robin, I'd be like, no, neither you are included in my child's life. Get away, bitches.
And
You got one who's a crazy person and one who is like borderline evil. So
another crazy person.
But again,
Still
this
crazy
requires
No,
both of
Selena's
all of
crazy.
these things. All of these things require Robin to have an actual character,
In the brain.
and they seem
It
determined to not
just-
give him that.
It just makes me crazy, the idea of Regina having a say over what happens to Zelina's baby. It just makes me crazy. I already know that this will be the thing that will bug me about season 5. This will be this season Operation Mongoose. Like last
No,
season,
please no.
it was that whole happy. The author needs to give me a happy ending that drove me crazy. This season, it will be Regina having a say over Zelina's baby. This is just terrible. Anyway.
this is what just drives me nuts as a parent, because I mean, like, I know that in Storybrooke and in this show that family law just doesn't exist. Law as we know it doesn't exist. But if it did, any judge that in a courtroom would look at Regina and go, "Are you fucking kidding me right now? You are not blood related to this child. Just because you're in a relationship with the child's father doesn't mean that you can automatically just assume you have custody of the baby and you have be-all, end-all say of that baby's future."
Well,
And don't forget that
let's be
any
clear,
real judge would not let Regina near any children.
especially the one that she illegally adopted.
But
Yeah.
that's what they're acting like. It's like going to be Regina's sole responsibility to raise a child. Regina has to do this. Regina's got to take care of the baby. I was like, excuse me, that child has a father, a blood relation father, actual biological father.
We know that all of Robin's children are being raised by Little John. He's the real father. So let's not kid ourselves.
Just like Baby Charming is being raised by a rotating band of mothers.
Granny slash the
Grannies.
dwarf
Cinderella,
slash Belle.
Aurora, Belle. Seriously.
They have to go adventuring, man.
Yes, they do.
Ain't got time
Anyway.
for infants.
Anyway, what did you think about Emma's whole
Beautiful.
moment? Incredible.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
the
Can
Can I
best
talk
thing
about,
ever.
hey, can I
Awesome.
talk about this one, please?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, Mai.
Okay.
Yay.
Like, Michelle knows, probably, because we've been friends a long time. And the rest may have an idea, but I've struggled a lot with it. With the whole voices in your head who tell you you're nothing, and who keep telling you, no, you suck at this, you suck at that, you're not gonna get that, you're not gonna do it. No. It's a really annoying voice that, as my psychologist says, it comes when you're like 3 years old and it keeps building. And when you've gone through a bullying like I've gone through, it gets a lot stronger. And for those cases and many others, I've had self-esteem issues, and I've always, since the first moment, that's why Emma is so important to me. Because from the first moment, I saw myself in Emma. I saw somebody who's felt the same things that I did. Not to me, not to the extent, but like the same basic plot point is there.
Wow.
Okay. So for the character and that's why I was one of the few CS fans who actually deeply loved the moment in season 4 where she saves herself when her machine is going crazy. I know everyone wanted to be Killian, but I saw it as so important that she saved herself. That she said, no, I'm good, and then came this moment where over the fandom people
Wait a moment.
have
I'm gonna go out for a moment. There's a pause.
associated the darkness with people with mental issues. So for Emma to go and say, no, I'm not nothing, You cannot make me nothing. I was never nothing. It's the biggest moment like anyone could. I actually might have cried at that moment. For Emma, who just 2 seasons ago was saying that she felt like an orphan, she felt like a lost girl who didn't care, wasn't mattered, didn't care, or nobody cared about her. Now she knows that she's got a family, she's got everything, and most importantly, she knows she's not nothing, and she knows that the darkness cannot tempt her. And for everything they can do to her, she knows her value and she knows how much she matters. So I just want to say that.
Well,
Okay.
I still think that Nimue might have had a point about the sort of things that Emma could actually come to require the power for. Like, if she really wanted to keep something or someone in her life and no one else would let her, then she would obviously be fighting back as strongly as she could. And who knows what might
But
actually happen.
That may actually come into play this week. We shall see.
Yes.
But the thing is, with Emma, she already had power. As the savior, she already had light magic. So she doesn't need, that's what she said anyway. She's like, I don't need this. And right now, she feels like she doesn't need it. But there are maybe things that happen that make her feel like she does.
Well, she
You
said it
should
right
see.
there in that episode. When she
Honestly,
said, is it possible to have the darkness and use it to protect people? And Merlin was like, don't go there, sister.
Yeah.
honestly, I know it's a big team and fandom right now, but I do not want. I mean, if it's to save his life, then yes. But I do not want Emma forcing Killian to be with her without consent, because it's basically the same thing we've ragged on about Rumbell and all the
I don't think she will.
I don't
She
want
hasn't done that
dark
yet. Why would she do that now?
in the fandom why she wanted
Bang,
to
please
happen.
no.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
Seriously, one at a time.
Okay.
Say something?
Yeah.
I want Emma to be herself when she's with Killian. Now when they have that moment that we're all waiting for. But I don't want her the dark one because it's not her he wants. He wants the real Emma. And I agree with Mai. We don't want that happen, and I hope doesn't happen. And end of story with that.
Actually, I think that is the real Emma. Because look at his face. I mean, his face says it all in the picture and in the image. Like, it's not how he normally looks at Dark One. He's looking at Emma like Emma.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think obviously something is going to happen in this episode that causes them to figure whatever is going on with them out. I mean, he's going to find out the truth
And we're
about
gonna
what
die.
made her this way,
Probably via Rumpelstiltskin.
which is just weird.
Well, they said it would be surprising. A surprising person would get his memories back.
Zelina would be surprising too, especially if she plays a role in what causes him to be in danger in the first place.
But Zelina doesn't
And
have her
her-
memories. Rumpelstiltskin was not in Camelot. And now he's a hero, remember?
Oh god.
He's so heroic.
You know,
Go puke.
Someone gave me this
knowing what we know now, though, about future events, it kind of, like, in the big round picture, makes sense why she started out the way she started in episode 1 till now, because when they first got to Camelot, everybody was intent on saving her, Killian especially. He was desperate to save her, to bring her back to herself, and she saw that and she took that in, and she had his ring and she felt like she was supported, and then she had to obviously it seemed like she has to give in to the darkness to save his life, I'm guessing. So she's made this immense sacrifice that nobody can remember that she's done. They come back and all of a sudden everybody's terrified of her. They don't know what to make of her or what to do with her. And Killian, the one constant she has left, can't even look at her or doesn't even want to touch her because he's like he just doesn't hate her, but he doesn't
Well,
doesn't know how to deal with her.
in fairness to Killian, though, Emma was dodgy. I mean, he flat out asked her at least 4 or 5 times what happened, and she refuses to tell him. He can't trust her if she doesn't tell him the truth.
She says
If he doesn't get some
But
idea
honestly,
that his Emma is in there somewhere.
I know she was dodgy then, but now that knowing what we know now, it makes more sense now. Which means she was trying to be in her own way genuine. She really did mean that she loved him, and we could all see in episode 4 when he said he loved her, past tense, that she was really hurt by that. But now we know why.
Yeah, but she was trying to manipulate him at the time, so I totally do not blame him for saying that at that point.
Right,
She
no,
needed to know that her actions were not okay.
Yeah, no, I am not saying that he was wrong. Absolutely not. But knowing what we know now, we know why she was so hurt. So we get it.
now
Everything is
I
coming in.
understand why she's so pissed.
Well, I want to know why she's pissed at Regina and the Charmings, how they play into this whole killing and being in
For
danger
being
thing.
dumb enough
Think
to
about
get
it this way.
themselves.
I mean, from what we know,
Mm-hmm.
they had everything already. They had the flame. They had everything ready to cast the darkness out. And then the Indians won and trusted Selena, and that's gonna lead to maybe Killian getting hurt. So I would understand if she's pissed about that.
Why did they trusted these two? Why they trusted Selena and Arthur? Why?
Well, Arthur is more. I mean, Arthur I understand more. Like we knew he was shifty. We knew he was shifty, but they didn't know that because they don't see what we see.
They were so
But
gullible.
Selena, come on, man, that's just
Stupid.
She has a right to be angry because their stupidity for trusting her got them into the situation that they're in right now.
Exactly. So the whole
But now she's
you
trusting
made me this
Selena.
way is kind of
Yes.
very, very true. Because
Family.
maybe she wouldn't have had to take on the darkness if they hadn't done all this stupid shit they did.
But
I
isn't
hate
that the
Selena
same
more than
logic that
ever.
Regina had when you shouldn't have told my mother or something?
No,
like
not the
that?
same. Not the same.
Okay, well, it depends on what they actually do, but I would agree that it's not exactly the same. Anyway, we will see, because if they just, they try to help her, but they just fail because they are more on suitors to the wrong person. Okay, that's one thing. If Hook is in danger and she wants to do anything at all possible to save him, and they go, no, let him go because otherwise you could go dark, let him die or whatever, then I would agree that she has a reason to be pissed, because
I remember.
Regina, especially when Robin was in danger, she basically told Emma, do this of your own free will, or I'm making you do it with the dagger. And that was the thing that started Emma on her sparkly path to darkness. So when it was Regina's happiness, Regina's true love, in danger, they were willing to risk Emma going dark and risk everything to save him. Snow and Charming even got in front of a Fury, which could have done anything to them to save Regina. When
So stupid.
when it's
Oh my God.
Hook's life on the line, they are not willing to go to the same lengths. And I get that Snow doesn't love Hook the same way she loves Regina. But
Charming does.
even if they can't stand him and they think he's insufferable, he's Emma's true love. Is someone Emma loves, and for the love of Emma, for the fact that they love Emma, they should do anything at all to save him. So we
That
will
will come up
see.
later.
I will kill
We
them if they fail.
we will see. Yeah, if we want to go into spoiler territory, so spoiler alert or whatever.
Sorry.
If it makes sense if that's actually what they do. They refuse to do anything. I mean, I don't mean anything, but everything to save Hook. Then the 5B storyline of them all are going to go to the underworld is them making it up to Emma and Hook for that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Plus, they're
that's
not
that's actually clever. It could make sense.
I know. I'm actually kind of shocked.
You know what
And it
was
made-
best?
And there's a thing that that Emma tells Regina, oh, so now life is precious to you?
Yes,
Yes.
So,
that's very
Wow.
telling.
pretty much
Yep.
buy into what happens this episode.
It gives that one line a whole new depth of meaning considering what we know now. And for anyone that says that, oh, this is all once upon a hook, blah, like, hold on. First season was Emma and her relationship with Henry. The second season was Emma kind of her accepting that what they said was true, and the beginning of her relationship with her parents. The third season was her relationship with her parents more. The fourth season was her accepting herself and her magic, and feeling and being in a good place
And
herself.
becoming friends with Regina.
And
Yeah.
Elsa.
And so you cannot tell me that if the pattern follows that season 5 should not be dedicated to her love life, to her true love.
What? So I'm sorry?
Which I'm grateful.
We've had to deal with Once Upon a Regina for 4 seasons.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to sit back and shut up.
Seriously.
Okay, so we have a question from Hooked on Killian for Life 28 and for Anonymous. They both sent a similar question, and they want to know if you guys think Emma is going to control Killian with the sword. Do you think that's what she's gonna do?
No.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
You said in the
There's
sneak
some
peek the sword
people-
doesn't control anyone anymore.
Yeah.
people are certain people in fandom want it, but I'm like no. Because that's a really huge consent issue.
Well,
We
I
do
mean,
not want that.
no, I mean, I think that there's something magical going on with Killian and the sword, but even if it is, like, the tethering thing, she literally gives it to him. Like, he's the one wielding it against Rumpel in, spoiler alert, oops. But, so he literally has it. It's not like she's, doing what Merlin's doing, or not Merlin, Arthur, Shady McShaderson, is, did with Merlin. So, and, yeah. I don't know. I don't think she
But
is.
does that mean that he's gonna have the crocodile in his head now?
Prevention.
Well,
Again.
Clippy Rumpel was spotted when they were filming that scene.
Oh my god, I'm gonna love this scene for the rest of my life. It's never gonna leave me.
Okay, so
I don't know like how much she's going to be able to deal with it, because Emma has this powerful light magic in her, and it's helped her to resist as long as she did. Killian doesn't have that boost, so he's kind of like, he's not only that, but he has a hard enough time dealing with the real Rumpelstiltskin, let alone to have to deal with, the Clippy one in his
He
mind
hates Rumpel, though.
24/7. So
Well, remember, Clippy Rumpel only shows up when the light is winning, because Rumpel only shows up, in Camelot he would show up when she was, trying to get her to go dark, etc., and then he showed up in Storybrooke right after she had that moment in front of Granny's where, she missed her family. So it's like if the light is starting to rear its ugly head, that's when Clippy Rumpel shows up and and like starts whispering in your ear. So if he's there, maybe it's a good thing.
I prefer Nimue.
No, Nimue, please no. Please no. I hate
Uh-huh.
that crazy bitch. But I'm the old Nimue, not this Nimue.
Also, you know what? It's really interesting that kind of gives credence to the idea that Emma is playing the lolicon. She hasn't gone all scaly.
Nope.
Everyone else has gone all scaly. Even Soso, if you think about it. I think he was all scaly too.
For a
And she
minute,
hasn't.
in the part when she was grabbing the sword, her one eye was green and the other one was blue, but I think I saw badly.
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
it's just Jen's eye color changes color depending on the light. It's a little bit blue, a little bit green. She's got both going on there.
Okay, let's go to the next question. Anonymous wants to know, what are your theories on what will happen in the scenes between Killian and Emma in the next episode?
He'll find out the truth.
We've got a pretty good sense just from all the stuff they've shown us.
We're
The
all gonna
sneak
die.
peek is from near the start of the episode. He's probably going to confront her and she's going to shoot him down, saying, if you knew, you'd try to stop me. He goes and finds out anyways, and then jumps off a roof. And there's probably some kissing.
So, who do you think gets his memories back?
Hook!
Hook.
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry,
Who gives
I
him his
meant,
memories
Well,
back?
how?
Uncle gives them to Hook.
She's asking how.
But okay, here's my question. Though. If he got them back before he jumps off the roof, why does he need her to tell him if he already knows?
Maybe
Because
she
he
was
says-
wanting confirmation.
maybe.
He says in the promo that she asks if, do you want to know no matter how awful, and he says I do. And it's like, why would he ask that if he already knows?
Maybe he wants her to be honest.
Or maybe.
Or
he
maybe-
has one
maybe
way
the
to know
idea.
that he needs her to help activate it, or it's before he jumps off the roof.
Or maybe he
That's
gets
an idea.
his memories back, but if his memory is just being mortally wounded, he wouldn't remember what she does after that to save him. He remembers maybe almost dying, and but she still needs to tell him, and then after you almost died, I succumbed to the darkness to save
Okay.
you.
He needs her to fill in the blanks after he almost dies. Okay,
Yeah.
that
Or
was
maybe the way he gets his memory back is that when she tells him, it unlocks the rest of the memory.
Maybe.
I
Okay.
have this feeling based on all of the promo pictures and the sneak peek and all the stuff that we've seen so far. I think it's going to go down like this. We'll first get the sneak peek where he's racing after Arthur. He trips and falls. Arthur tries to kill him, and Emma saves his life. Then when he finally gets her to crack, and she says that she did it for him, you saw the look on his face. He was utterly shocked because that wasn't something that he was expecting. I think he's going to try to get more out of her, but she's going to poof out before he can get any real concrete answers. So now he knows based on that in interaction that Emma's still in there, and that if he puts his life in danger, she'll come because she's not going to let him die. So if he wants to get any answers out of her, he's going to have to force her. So that's when he goes up onto the roof, throws himself off,
Wow.
throws himself, calls
You're
her.
missing one key point though. That I think after that bit where he has the sneak peek where Emma says that she did it for him, I think he tells the others what she said, and that's when Regina says she's manipulating you. Don't buy it.
Right. So
And then
to
he
find
does
out
it
for
anyway.
sure. So to find out for sure, he goes on top of the roof, calls her. She might not show up at first. Then he throws himself off the roof, betting that she'll probably save his life, and she does. Then they, with what we've seen of Kat and Tan's little video, they have a little discussion there, where he's like, "Please tell me," or whatever, and whatever she says to him, kind of seems to smooth things out between them because they walk off holding hands. Then they go to her
Let's skip
house,
down
and
the street.
that's when they have
That
the
was
big
awesome.
Yeah, then they go to her house, and that's when they have the more important discussion of, him begging her to tell tell him what happened. She might bring out his dream catcher and give him his memories back. I'm not sure how exactly it's going to go down, but I'm almost certain he's going to get his memories back at that point, and he'll know why it was that she did it, and that's probably lead up to the kiss.
I don't know.
Another thing we got, another semi-spoiler, is that we will find out who gave Hook's ring to him, and then the ring he gave to Emma. Who do you think it was?
His father?
Liam.
Liam or his father? I'm like,
It's not his father.
No, because
Trust
it's
me.
somebody we've already met.
Yeah, it's somebody we've already met, so it can't be his father. So I'm 99% sure it's Liam, and which means we won't find out who gave it to him. Probably won't find out who gave it to him until 5B if it's Liam, because we won't see him till then.
It's the only one. It's the only one that makes sense because, first of all, he's by his tone and the way that he described it, he's obviously had the ring for a very long period of time. And when you say a long period of time in Hook terms, that's a long fucking period of time.
yeah.
And also, the ring obviously has a great deal of sentimental value. He doesn't have enough of a relationship or connection with people in Storybrooke to receive that ring from anybody there. He doesn't really know a lot of people that well there except for the core group.
Yes, it's precious.
So
Right.
he couldn't have gotten the ring from anybody else there and it still have that attached sentimental value. I don't think it would be Mila simply for the fact that it wouldn't bring as much emotional impact as it would as if it was from Liam.
What
and
about
it was a man's ring anyway, so.
what about Merlin? Didn't Elliot say that they have some connection?
Not for me.
No.
And if
Maybe,
it's
I
really
don't know.
magical,
Well, he didn't make any sign of knowing who Merlin was before he got out of the tree. I mean, Emma, at least, she had that moment of deja vu, and Killian hasn't had anything. So even if Merlin managed to astral project himself into Killian's life before now, Killian don't remember it.
Like Emma did
speaking
in
of-
first.
And speaking about the ring, so all those times, did you notice when Emma was actually holding it
Yes.
and she was confronted by Nimue?
Yes.
I know.
She got
People are-
strength by that.
Ooh, string of true
It's her
love.
lifeline. It
She's
was
gonna
her
need it.
reminder. Like, Emma holding onto the ring was her reminder to bring Emma home.
Yeah, sorry,
not
Swan
give in and
Chain,
bring
you've been
Emma home.
placed.
okay. Next question from Anonymous. What do you think is happening in the spoiler picture that was released of Emma holding the sword over Killian while he's laying down in the field of
Oh.
flowers?
I don't know. I was
Seems like
freaking
there's
out.
something black, some black shadow over him.
Yeah. Whatever it is, I think it's the safest life.
She's either
Yeah.
she's either putting magic into him to save him, or removing his injury, or taking darkness out of him. Either way.
Well, it's hard to tell because that's clearly an action shot of incomplete special effects that is going to look a lot different when it's moving, so it's hard to tell what it is.
Yep.
But I mean, that sword was once the Holy Grail. It came from the gods. It could do anything.
Yeah, and the fact is we weren't even supposed to see that picture because some idiot posted it from a place they weren't supposed to post it. Oops.
Maybe he has a real internet problem for all their shows.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Oh, this is one we haven't gotten in a while. Anonymous wants to know,
Oh dear.
when do you think we have the best chance of getting Captain Swan's sexy time at this point?
At the end of 5B.
Do you think we
There
get
you go.
it this season? What are your thoughts?
End of
5B?
End of
5B.
5D. End of 5D.
Are they gonna
Yeah.
get thrown in hell?
If we're right about where 5B is going, here's the payoff I need at the end of 5B. I need True Love's kiss, I need a wedding, I need some banging, okay? I need a trifecta.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about a
Like,
bit
I
about.
can do without the wedding. I think it will happen, but I need the sex. And the love sex.
Yes, we do.
You should
Cohabitating in Emma's house.
try the milk before buying the cow, or what is
Okay,
they
okay.
say?
What the fuck was that? Yes, I'm done.
Okay, let's talk. We have a few questions about 5B. Anonymous wants to know, how long do you think we will have to wait for Captain Swan to be reunited again in the underworld?
How long?
It's well, right now I think it's at least 2 episodes because they were filming in Hell Steveston last night, and Killian was nowhere to be seen with the others. So
Yeah.
it's going to be at least 2.
Does
possibly.
not make me happy, because if we have to do an angsty hiatus, I really wanted him back with the group, even if they weren't all out of the underworld by the end of 512.
Yeah.
Honestly,
So I'm annoyed.
Me too. I'm really
I'm
nervous.
hoping.
I'm not complaining because my other ships have been separated for over a season, both of them. So 2 episodes, I can do 2 episodes.
I'm hoping it doesn't go much beyond 3 or 4, because if we start to get to the halfway point of the arc and she hasn't found him yet, I'm going to be super annoyed.
Same here.
That's too long.
Same here.
How
It's
big
too
can
long.
the underworld be?
I hope not that big, please, no.
Do you think they will be in the underworld for the whole arc? Because
I don't know. Maybe
I
not.
want to say no, but I don't know.
Me neither.
Because
Like,
It might happen.
okay, if they hadn't made Storybrooke into the underworld, I'd say I would have given you a definitive no, they're not going to be in the underworld the entire time. But since they did, they could, because you would still be seeing Storybrooke, you just would be seeing the hell version of it.
A
But the
gothic
problem,
one.
but the problem there is Zelina's not there, Belle's not there.
But
So that's-
Emily seems really pregnant. Do you think she will be back filming before giving birth?
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, the picture I saw from the pictures I saw of her on Tumblr, the latest photograph, she looks to be about 4.5, 5 months ish. So
Well, here's the thing, though. We know that there's a spoiler from 511 that has Belle getting into Rumpel's car and driving away. So what is that about?
I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
that was filmed. That was filmed like, well, I think
That's what
by
I'm
the time
saying.
they filmed, episode 11, Emily had already announced her pregnancy. So maybe it kind of put that in to give her a reason for not being there.
Exactly.
Because if they are
She's-
intending not to write it in, which they're
She-
probably not, because let's be real, I mean, her,
It
so
would be
they
gross.
probably the excuse to have her out the picture for a while.
Which would explain why she didn't go into the underworld with the others. Now, Zelina's not there because she's cray-cray. They don't need cray-cray Zelina down the underworld.
Yes,
with
the
them.
fuck.
Zelina is taking
Worse.
care of her child. I mean, not that Avengers would know anything about that, but one of them is a devoted mother.
Zelina is going to hook up with Arthur. They're
I'm not
clearly
gonna
meant for each other.
Oh, God.
Yes,
They're
I
both
was
equally
thinking the
crazy.
same. Wicked King Hans.
But he's married.
I know.
Yeah, after he zapped his wife with magic sand.
That's never been a problem.
Well, you know what? Despite the fact that she's still under his thrall, when he was cooking up that concoction that
She
made
looks
the
very
helmet
terrifying.
melt, the look on her face was just like, dude.
She
you
was
Yeah.
not
right now.
good.
I
She
mean,
was
she-
terrified. She honestly
Even-
did look terrified.
Even she was starting to like think he had lost his shit. She's
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
yes, maybe.
Cuckoo Cup and Shady McShady.
I need them to remove the troll. Come on.
I think they will.
Cook. Once upon a time, leave her alone and let her run into the.
Well, we don't even know if
In
Lancelot's
the
still
horizon.
alive.
He's alive.
He's alive, but he's in.
He's alive until we see otherwise.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'm gonna
another
run
thing.
off into the sunset.
So, whose heart was used to cast the curse?
I don't know.
Merlin.
Merlin.
Well,
I think
Melon,
it's
darling.
yeah, probably Merlin.
That will explain
Yeah.
why he's not in Storybrooke.
But
Yeah.
question: Merlin's, even if his heart is crushed, if he is immortal, did he die?
Yes.
No, but remember,
mean, he says-
that
he
the
says he
only
can
one
be
that is
killed.
only is the dark
I have
one.
a dark one.
Which Emma, being the dark one, she has. That's why they mentioned in the episode. That's why Emma said Nimue still loves you. It's just all twisted up. She has all the dark ones in her head, and with
that's also
Nimue
why
being
Nimue said, "I'll be right there when you need me."
exactly.
So if Emma was the one to do it, and she really is the only one that can, because the Dark One's the only one that has the power to kill him.
Because that power comes from the same place that Merlin's came from, which is the Grail.
Well, Arthur isn't really giving her much of a choice.
That's why he's a
kind of
dick.
pitting them against it. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. We have 3 last questions. Anonymous wants to know, what are your theories about what Kellyan will be doing in the underworld while Emma and the others try to find him?
Pissing on
Hades.
Hanging out
Crazy.
with his dad?
Okay, so it's just hanging out with Hades.
Well, I think
She's
to
not
be
pissed off
sassing Hades, and based on the picture that Adam posted yesterday, I think that he's going to have his run-in with his dad. And there's going to be Jones family drama.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Hold on. Everyone said that Adam Crosdale was not on set there, so that picture might not necessarily have had anything to do with one. That might just been Adam Crosdale posting a selfie. Although the fact that he hashtagged it Once Upon a Time.
Wasn't he around like burned out cars?
Let's put it this way:
know.
they do not introduce Papa Jones in the mid-season finale and not have him play a role in 5B. That's just stupid. Not when you waited this long to give us Killian's backstory. So
They
it has
should,
to be
because
somewhere.
according to Adam and Eddie's newest spoilers, they were saying that 5B will primarily focus on Hook's past, and thank Jesus, and his past is supposed to come back to haunt him in a big way. So I think a lot of what's going to happen to him in the underworld is that people from his past, he has a lot of demons. I mean, this man's 300 years old. He's killed a lot of people. He's been through a lot. He's lost a lot. So I think a lot of those demons are going to come back to haunt him in a big way. So his father not being there would just be a waste. That'd be stupid.
You know what would be funny when they get to hell? David meeting with his brother, maybe.
I want that.
Me too.
Maybe.
Come
Well,
on,
they
don't
did
need
say
another.
they did
don't
say
need-
we
They don't
they
even,
did say
need
we
another actor. It's him.
see Liam again. And Charming's brother, I mean, Josh is right there.
Exactly.
Okay, but see, the difference is that Charming's brother was evil, Liam wasn't. So
But
why would
here's
he
the
be in
thing:
hell?
it's not the
Well, again-
Christian hell.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. It's just the underworld in Greek mythology is just where everybody
Everyone
goes.
ends up in the underworld. There's no
Yeah,
heaven.
but there's Tartarus and there's Elysium. There's
No,
one
there's-
for good
there's-
people, one for
there's
bad
There's
people.
also a place where everybody just kind of stands around and does
Yeah.
nothing. What
There's-
happens
there's
to
a-
most people.
And plus,
Yeah.
we're probably gonna
That-
get
okay.
a mix of Greek and Disney, which means they're probably only gonna be like 2 sides of hell.
Yeah, and they
So
dance
everyone's-
hell
I
with
mean,
hell from AC/DC.
technically, there's 3. There's Tartarus, which is like the pit, which is like deep hell. That's where the Titans are. But as far as the underworld itself, there's the Fields of Punishment, which is where the really, really, really bad people go. There's the Fields of Asphodel, which is where most people go and just mill around. And then there's Elysium, which is where all the heroes go. All the really, really good people.
Like Liam and Graham.
I think we're mostly going to see, if they do all 3, I think we're mostly going to see the Fields of Asphodel. Because that's where most people go.
Like,
Honestly, and it's gonna be a mix of that or in the Disney version.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that Constellation Megara look like really little?
Yeah, I mean, he
I
was
know
only
the guy-
18 in the movie.
I mean, I know the guy's supposedly 24, which is a year younger than me. Oh my god. That was
He's
24
a
2
really-
weeks ago.
He's a really young 24 if he's 24.
Right?
yeah.
I'm sorry, I just saw his face and I was like, how old are you, child?
and the people, and he was dressed as a storybook person in the storybook version of Hell, just like that other guy was last week.
Well, I
Including
think this is
Meg.
actually good for the other characters because they could be like a mentor to him. He's got the strength, but not the experience.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the last two questions. Anonymous wants to know, why do you think we haven't seen Colin filming outside in Stevestone lately? Do you think he
Uh,
has just been filming in the studio? I would think that
Yes.
since they seem to be using the same Storybrooke location, that we will see him filming outside more than we have. Do you think it will be a long time before we see Colin filming out in the open again? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, he's definitely in the studio.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
yes.
He's in the
Yes, yes.
studio with
Mhm.
Ally
True.
McBeal.
And I believe that we will see Colin filming outside before the show comes back in March. That's all I'm willing to say.
Well, they're going to be pretty far in by then. I would hope so.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So we'll know by then.
If Killian was out in the open and free to walk around, he could just find Emma like right away. But he's obviously isolated somewhere.
Yeah, if the whole
Exactly.
point is to test him with demons and stuff, then he has to be away from the others.
This is kind of very reminiscent of what they were doing in season 3, when they were looking for Henry. You had the group in one spot looking and searching and doing their own thing, and then you had Henry isolated from them in a totally different spot. I think this is kind of the same concept. You have the core group trying to find Killian, and then Killian isolated by himself.
But again, let's
Wherever
hope it
the hell
does
he
not
is.
take as long. Save
Seasonal.
Henry is episode 9, and they didn't even save Henry, so let's
Oh my
not
God.
take as long this time, guys.
Well, I want it to be
Yeah.
short, to them to find him in hell. To be short, not that long. Short.
Yes,
Emma
please
can
don't
film
take
it.
any cues from the 100 writers. Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah, if you want to find him and then have a fight in order to get out, that's okay. But you have to
yeah.
reunite him with the group. That's
And especially Emma, and it will be emotional. And we're all gonna die. Better than we're gonna die
I
in the
think
season
that
now.
I'm gonna say episode 4 or 5.
yeah, 4 or 5, I think.
Because they're always the big CS moments in 4 and 5.
4 is generally a big
Uh-huh.
CS thing. So 4 would be good.
Okay, last question from Anonymous. They say, from the spoilers that we are getting from Elbrook filming and from interviews with Adam and Hedy, it seems that 5B is taken up by why Regina and him are friends and connected while they are trying to get Hulk back. Also, Snowwind can't have any alone time with their daughter without Regina being there. That's pissing me off as well. I just don't want 5B to be 4B 2.0. What are your thoughts? I will say one thing. Before 5A started, we wasted hours and hours and hours complaining about how Regina was gonna be the savior. It was gonna be the Swan Queen season. Regina was gonna be everything, and none of that happened. Almost
I'm
I
very
love it when we're
for
wrong.
once in
Yes.
my life,
We
I'm
were
very glad that I
wrong.
was wrong. For once in my life, I'm very glad I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because
mean,
I never
admit,
thought it was
I
gonna be a
was the
Swan
one
Queen
that was the
season.
most better.
I never bought that Regina Savior nonsense.
I mean,
Okay.
the woman is going to the depths of hell to save her true love's life. Kids, this is words, okay? How much more Captain Swan centric can you get?
So
Yeah.
I beg everyone, while we are in the middle of this Captain Swan half season, don't already start freaking out about how we are not gonna get Captain Swan in the
Yes.
next season.
'Cause
Let's
the whole
please,
crux of it is Captain Swan as fuck, okay?
let's please try to just get
And
Although-
actually,
through
I-
this season.
I came up with a plan last week that I'm gonna be hopeful for my shows. It will most likely backfire on me, especially in a certain Tuesday show. But Michelle will laugh at me. But I am going to try and be hopeful.
But here's the thing though. I do hope there is more snowing Emma
Yes.
time in 5B while they're searching for Killian. Please and thank you,
Yes.
baby Jesus.
Snowing and Emma is a legitimate complaint, so yes, there should be more of that because it's been ridiculous.
Well, Adam and Eddie also said in those spoilers that while Killian confronts his own demons and his own past, that while she was searching for him, Emma was going to be confronting her own. So during this search, I'm sure that her parents and whoever else was affected by what happened with her, Henry, as the Dark One, she's going to be dealing with those after effects, because this happens right after she loses the darkness. So
Cough,
all
Cruella,
of that
cough.
is still fresh. It's still fresh,
And Cruella's gonna be there. Let's not forget about Cruella.
Yeah.
But if
Oh, I
anybody's
miss you,
Yay,
my bad
she's-
babe.
But if anybody's
The-
worried about Regina and Emma friendship, this is what I see. I see Regina and Emma in 5B consisting of Regina sassing and complaining, why the fuck do I have to be here to save your pirate? And Emma will just turn her and go, bitch, if it wasn't for me, you and your boyfriend would be dead right now. You owe me. Enough said.
Her.
Yeah, I desperately need all of these people to rally around Emma and either fix what they broke if they are indeed the people who try to convince her not to save him in the first place back in Camelot, and to get her happy ending for her because she's busted her ass to give them.
For everybody.
Yeah,
It's
fucking
yeah,
here.
they owe her.
It's
Come
about
on.
time.
Seriously.
Here, fucking here. And I
Okay.
want Charming to help save his bro. Give me my Captain Charming, damn it.
Okay.
Yes.
I want it.
I have an important announcement and plea to the fandom. Fandom,
Uh-oh.
please. Red Warrior is a terrible name. Moulin Rouge is obviously the correct ship name. Please, please, let's make this happen.
I'm sorry, I think Red Warrior is gonna stay, but I like Moulin Rouge. And can I talk about Moulin Rouge now?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I've been waiting, okay? See, I was respectful and waited. I can be respectful.
Of course.
Stop laughing, Michelle.
Okay, talk to us about Moulin Rouge.
It's wonderful. Look at my beautiful bisexual. And honestly, okay. And the sneak peek with Merida and Mulan was awesome. I have to admit it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. I
Speaking
saw,
of-
I saw a sneak peek. I realized when they first met, I saw a spark. But I don't know if it was friendship or it's love, but I saw it was something.
Speaking of Moulin
Michelle.
Rouge, here's a thought. They said that they're going to be, introducing it sort of like in this week's, the second part of this week's episode, and they won't really get into the meat of it until 5B. Well, if they're doing that, then they have to get back to Storybrooke at some point, because neither Mulan or Ruby are dead.
Exactly.
Swept up in the curse.
Well, that's the thing. If most of the main cast is in the underworld for the
Okay.
first couple of episodes, they have to get back to at least regular Storybrooke
Okay.
if the curse brought them back.
Question. Red
Answer.
was in Storybrooke at the end of season 3.
No, not after Emma and
Yes.
Hook came back from
She was
the
at
past.
She was at Nils christening or
Yeah,
presentation.
but she was in that was in season 3, remember?
Yeah,
But there was
no.
still like
She
a
was-
lot
she-
happening
no.
in season
No,
4.
she was in
She
the
was
beginning
there.
of the episode. She wasn't in the
Yeah.
end.
Yes.
She was
there.
at the christening.
No,
she
she
was there.
wasn't.
She was there at the party when it started before Emma and
Right.
Hook fell into the portal. She wasn't there when they came back.
When they came back, she was
Okay.
gone.
And that's why Adam and Eddie said in that one interview that they're going to find out where Ruby was because she wasn't in Storybrooke for the last, season. They're going to explain why she wasn't there because clearly Emma and Hook did something in the past that messed up where she went.
Yeah.
Whether time frame
Oops.
changed
Oops,
or
oopsie doopsie.
something, but yeah, it'll explain.
Or put this. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Anyway.
I have a plea to the fandom. which I am actually gonna be serious about this. Okay, here's the thing. You know how much bisexual representation there is on TV?
Yes.
Very little. People who actually, I mean, there's Kelly Torres, who's actually says she's bisexual, and there's Clark Griffin, who they will never say she's bisexual on TV. And am I missing anyone? Oh,
You said Callie from Grey's Anatomy,
I said
right?
that one.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought that's
And
who you
Sarah, who they don't exactly say the word bisexual. Okay? So yes, this is a big deal.
Did you say Clark?
I did,
Yeah,
but I
she
said
did say
that the writers will never admit on the show that she's bisexual. They'll do it on Twitter, but not in the show.
And trust me, this is not just a phenomenon in the States. As a matter of fact, there's a show that's exclusively made in Canada that I watched. It had a character who, when the show first started, the character was dating... Huh?
That's true?
No. Murdoch Mysteries, which is a period piece that takes place in like 1903. But anyway, the female coroner, when the show started out, or when she came on in like season 4 or whatever, she was dating Crabtree, a guy. And then season or 2 in, the 2 of them broke up. She dated another guy, and they broke up. And then in the last season she was in, before she left the show, she started dating a woman. And as soon as that episode came out where she and the woman started dating, everyone automatically assumed that she was gay, and I'm like, excuse me, no. Dr. Emily Grace isn't bisexual. Did you forget that she also dated a man?
And also, and like the Willow Rosenberg thing.
Yeah.
Willow is always classified as a lesbian when she's actually a bisexual.
Yes.
So
that always bugged me.
And I'm sorry if you're saying that this came out of nowhere. I'm sorry, but Ruby has been bisexual as fuck since day one.
Yeah, she's flirted outrageously with Elle like all the time.
Yes, and even with Emma a little bit. Like, so no, this did not come out of nowhere, and I don't care if you ship Frank and Wolf. Ship Frank and Wolf all you want. But do not take this moment away from people who it matters to them to see Ruby as a bisexual.
Well, here's the thing: if Emma and Hook screwed up something in the past, and Ruby never came to Storybrooke in the first place, then there is no Frank and Wolf.
Yes.
Well, I don't think they go that far.
I don't know either.
Have you met these people, Ro?
No, but I'd like to. I'd have some things to say.
Seriously. And okay, you know what bisexual means, right? Bisexual means you can have interest in women and in males. So Frank and Wolf could still live in your canon, but leave the Red Warrior shippers alone and stop hating on them, because really, this is very important to a few people.
I don't say gay
I'm
or
stepping on
bisexual
my
couples, never.
And also, before you make an assumption about a television character's sexual preferences, just because they're dating one gender or another gender, don't do that.
No.
Let the character make it explicit first. Because just because in one episode, just because they have a makeout with a girl doesn't necessarily mean that they're lesbian. They could just as easily be bisexual. I mean, let the character make it explicit. The reason why it went down with Willow, the reason why it went down with Willow the way it did in Buffy was because at the time in the 90s, no one really knew how to deal with bisexuality or what bisexuality was. They could only see it in black or white terms. You were either one or the other. They didn't understand that you could be both. So they decided to ignore the fact that she had been in a very steady relationship with Oz for a number of seasons and was totally in love with him.
And was in love with Xander at some point.
And even in love with Xander even before that, before she long before she ever met Tara. So
Mhm.
obviously she goes both ways. Because her feelings for Xander, they're still there. Because he was the only one who was able to make her stop her evil little shit when she like lost her fucking mind after Tara died. So, but now we have a more deeper understanding of what bisexuality is and blah blah blah. My only concern about this, I have no problem with them doing it the way that they're doing it. I just want to make sure that the story is fleshed out properly, that it's done correctly,
Yes.
and it's not just thrown in there as some token thing just to shut people up.
Yeah.
And
all I care about.
respectfully.
Okay, so do you guys have any last comments on this episode?
I do.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Well, obviously the guest stars can put a lot into characters, and I was just really impressed with Elliot Knight's performance in this episode.
Me too.
I mean, he just has this way of looking young, but also feeling a bit old in his performance, like that wisdom. I could only compare it to the way Matt Smith played the Doctor.
Yes.
But
Yes.
he really
Ah.
is if he really is gonna die, then I'm really gonna miss him because
Me too.
I'm still hoping we help me yawn home.
We're living hope.
You always come
Yes.
back. We're getting Cruella back.
Yeah.
And he could
yes,
show
my
up in the underworld.
Or no.
Oh, my queen is back.
I'm so excited. And it's not just
sociopathic
going to be a
queen.
one-off for the 100th. She's popping in periodically. That makes me so happy.
Yes.
Too. I want her to back, darling.
We can't wait for her to start sassing
What do you
people.
think?
I
What do you
want
guys
her,
think?
please.
What do you think of their casting choices for Hercules and Megara?
They're
Yeah.
I'm
cute,
going-
but don't.
I'm going to need to see them in action before I
Yeah.
can decide.
Me
I
too.
couldn't tell from a grainy photograph if that's Hercules or not.
Me
They-
too.
Supposedly
I think it
he is.
They seem a bit young to me, but then again,
But they're supposed to be young in the movie.
like you said, I feel like I should wait until, the only issue I have is I'm not quite down with the Megara casting choice entirely because I feel like it's a bit of whitewashing. Just a
Mhm.
bit.
Why?
I see the way that she was drawn out and the way that she, her color tone when she, in the Hercules movie, and it doesn't match up too well.
But she was
Well,
Greek.
You know,
But she's Greek.
I would have.
And Greek people sort of mostly look white.
No,
I
they
don't know.
don't. Actually, Greek people are more olive-skinned.
Greek people are
Absolutely.
white.
Yes.
Yeah,
sorry.
Serena lives in Europe, so I'm going to trust her.
I'm sorry. I know that Tumblr sometimes tries to make Greek people and Southern Italian people people of color, but as a as a person from the south of Italy who lives in the north but whose parents are from the south, Italian people are white. I mean, complete European racial relations. I'm not gonna talk about them on the podcast, but are completely different. The way they think about skin color, they're completely different. So, yeah, casting a white person to play a Greek character is normal. I wouldn't say.
and I know,
white
I get you, Serena, because people also think that Mexicans are all dark skinned, and I'm like,
No.
yeah, no.
I mean,
different.
I'm
I
not
can-
saying that she should be dark-skinned. I know that the character is white. I understand that. I just felt that her skin should have been a bit more of an olive tone. That's all I'm saying.
Well, all we've seen is her headshot. We don't know what she's going to look like on set. I haven't seen a
True.
picture
And
of
her
her on set.
hairstyle, if she
All
did
we've
the
seen is that
hairstyle
headshot.
and the dress. I haven't seen her with her Megara dress and her ponytail.
Anyway, I think that's all for this
Actually-
podcast. Okay. Yeah?
Sorry.
No,
I just
go
have
ahead.
I have a question for everyone. So
Yeah.
looking back from season 1, Desperate Souls, when we found out what the Dark One was, is this a satisfying origin story?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah, well, it's cool. It's good. I liked it, but yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so
not
too.
sure how they're gonna explain, like, how there was a second Dark One, who killed Nimue,
Yeah.
how. I'm not
I don't
sure
know.
how they could make that believable since she was so powerful.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they're explain that. So we'll see. It's not over yet.
I think the
Not
apprentice
over.
probably had a hand in it, though. I mean, he knew about the dagger.
Yes.
So if anybody helped someone kill Nimue, the apprentice probably had a hand in it.
Ah, yes, I
Probably.
forgot about the
Mickey.
apprentice.
What I'm trying to figure out
Mickey
is
Mouse
if,
killed Nimue.
what I'm trying
Yeah,
to figure out
boy.
is that if Vortigern wasn't a Dark One, which obviously he
No,
wasn't,
he was just a
because Nimue
dude.
is a person, then what the hell was he? Because when he took his mask off, he looked all like
He was a burn
crocodile,
victim.
like.
He
A
was
demon.
a dude who, I mean, he was just a guy who was psycho and apparently had a bad run-in with a torch.
I don't know. Neither.
Yep.
I think it was a demon from the underworld.
No.
And he wore the mask to hide his disfigurement.
He probably
Basically,
wanted
yeah.
the Grail to get rid of it.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
Nimue took up his mask and his cloak not because she wanted to see him more evil than she was, but I think it was because she was trying to hide from herself. This way she wouldn't have to look at herself in the mirror and see what she had become.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
like
in
those
her
people
heart,
said, it's easier to dress it up as vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yes.
as much as she enjoyed the power, at the same time, I think she hated herself for what she did, but she couldn't change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode was epic. Thank you, Jane.
It was
Okay.
awesome. God bless Jane Epson. Bless her heart. Bless her heart.
Okay.
Totally.
So I think that's it for this
Marilyn is
episode.
sexy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for watching. And
Thank you.
bye.
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 Peace,
Bye.
everyone.